G'day friends, sorry it's been a while since we've done a video. I've been busy with life and work and all the other things that stop me doing fun stuff like this. But while I've been busy, I have been on the internet probably every night searching for fun things and buying some really cool parts for this car. So I want to update you with some cool stuff I found and some bits that are not so common. So pretty much every morning when I wake up, I jump on Marketplace and I type in AW11 and I have a look and see if anybody's posted up some stuff. And recently, a few things have popped up and for really good prices. So I've jumped on all of them. Now the first thing is, we've got a problem with our bonnet. Let me grab my trusty GoPro and show you what's going on with this thing because it is pretty gross. So this is the bonnet that came with the car, and as you can see here, it is rusted out to hell. It's not just here, I mean it's rusted all through the top, all through there, but also under all this housing here. The rust and holes up the back there, all through here, all around. Basically the bonnet is stuffed. So I was on Marketplace and I saw a guy put up an ad for a bonnet. It was quite a good price. So here it is. Another AW11 bonnet from Osaka, Japan. Now it's not perfect, but it is so much better than mine. The only real rust we've got is we've just got this little patch here and there's just a tiny bit here. But I mean, that's literally the surface rust. There's a tiny bit over this side too, but it's like, it's just surface stuff here. That one is a hole, but I'll pretty much top that out. I'll either put in a little patch or hell, I could just leave a hole. Like, honestly, it's not that bad. The rest of the bonnet is good. It needs a paint, obviously, but we're gonna be painting this whole car anyway, so it doesn't matter. And one of the cool things is it comes with, spin it around, try not to damage it or dent it. It's got a badge, which is cool because ours does not have the badge. Now, the funny thing about this badge, let me grab my GoPro and show you guys in a bit more detail. This is fondly referred to in the Toyota world as the Screaming Chicken. So this is the Toyota emblem from back in the day. Very cool little badge. Now this one is pretty faded, but I was pretty stoked to get one because they're actually quite hard to find these days. On that note, I got this in the mail. So I did some digging and I found on a Japanese website a new stock badge. So it's old stock, but brand new for the AW11. Let's get it out of, like, it's even got like Toyota logos and everything on there. It's genuine Toyota stock of the AW11 badge. So I'm going to put a brand new one on there. Let's see if the camera will focus on that. Come on, camera. How sick is that? So genuine brand new Screaming Chicken AW11 badge. Very cool. So I'm pumped on that guy. That's cool. I know it's only a little thing, but I was stoked to find it and got it for a pretty good price too. People sell these things secondhand for 80 to 100 bucks. I got this brand spanking new genuine one for 60 bucks. So very cool. And he will go pride of place right there and replace our pretty dated and aged one. Let's put it side by side. You can see that on the GoPro. Big difference, eh? So yeah, very cool to get that guy. We'll keep him safe. I'm going to put him somewhere safe. So yeah, very cool. Also, this bonnet here has a dent in the front of it. So below the logo, around here, it's got quite a big dent. So this would be much better. This has got some clear coat peeling and stuff like that, but whatever. We'll fix all that up, fix up that tiny little bit of surface rust, chop out that little patch, and should be good. A little bit there too. That's okay, we'll fix it. So this guy, I'll show you this, it was all wrapped up in proper Japanese cardboard, and this tape, I used to live and work over in Japan, and this brown weird tape we used it all the time for everything. It's funny stuff. So this guy actually got this bonnet 15 years ago from Osaka. He had a shipment come over with a bunch of parts. He's a parts dealer, and he had this bonnet and he put it aside in a container out the back of his workshop and completely forgot about it until last week when he pulled apart this container and found this in the back. Not only did he find that, but he found something else. Let me show you the back of the car. So this guy here is the stock deck lid. So we'll put the GoPro on here. So you can see that, that's the stock engine cover. That's the one that came with the car, and that is the standard NA engine cover. Not bad, and this one's actually in very good condition. It's not rusted or anything like that. However, when I went and saw this guy, he goes, hey, check this thing out, and showed me this. Let's just remove this one for a second. And he brought out this. So this is the engine cover from a supercharged AW11. So they did come in a run of supercharged, which was the 1.6, 1.5 litre, 1.6 supercharged engines. They weren't a lot more power. I think the standard one was 110, 115 horsepower, and the supercharged ones were about 140. So it's a bit more power, but nothing to write home about. Anyway, but they came with this deck lid, and it is very cool. I think it's very cool. It's got the big bulging vents, looks really chunky and racy. You can see this one, the vents are open, this one's closed, so it's kind of for looks, but this one is where the intercooler for the supercharger used to sit. Let's get the GoPro out here. So you can see that's vented and open, and that one's closed. So I think it looks really cool. Let's stick it on and show you. Oh, sick. So it's just got that kind of chunky, I don't know, it just looks cool. I like it. There's no gain from running this for me, other than the fact it looks cool. Now, this does pose a couple of problems. Number one, I found out that the bonnet latch doesn't match up. So there's the stock bonnet latch and there's the hook. They don't line up. So that's a problem. So what I'm gonna have to do is, luckily this is just one unit and it's tack welded on in 4 spots up there and 2 in the bottom. So I'm gonna have to chop that off, and I will have to move it over to line up with the latch. Bit of a pain in the arse, but considering I'm chopping the whole car up and fixing rust anyway, it's not a big deal. Secondly, obviously this will leak water onto the engine. And if you have a look at the stock lid, let me get my GoPro and show you. So there, the vents there, and on the back, you can see it's got these covers that basically allow hot air and stuff to get out, but doesn't allow the water to get on the engine. So I think what I'll probably have to do is create some sort of shroud underneath that just kind of channels the water but still allows the hot air to come out. And I think what I'd also like to do is probably cut the bottom of these fins to allow both vents to vent out. Now, from what I can tell with the setup of this vent is it's for air coming into the intercooler. So I'm not too sure how that's going to work, whether I kind of have a crack at trimming those vents to allow the hot air to come out, because what I'd ideally like to do is the cold air comes in through the side vent, because it does have a fan that draws the cold air in, and obviously hot air rises, and I can have 2 small thermo fans in there to draw the hot air out of the top of the engine bay, which I think would be really good, especially if I do an engine swap, which I would like to do in the future once the car's on the road. So anyway, it's going to be a bit of effort, but I think it looks very cool. It's a cool piece of Japanese kind of sports car history, even though it doesn't have the supercharged engine. To have the lid's kind of cool, and it's going to look chunky and fun. And it's also fiberglass. It's a little bit lighter than the other one, so pretty cool. Anyway, I've got some other parts. Let me show you these. Another thing I got when I went to saw old mate about the deck lid and the bonnet is this guy. So this is a gauge cluster from a supercharged car. You can see that there. So it's very dusty. Let me get a cloth and give it a wipe. Now, why do I need this? Well, the standard cluster that I've got in the car is for an automatic, which is fine. It all works and it will plug in and work. However, instead of the, I believe it's the volts or the oil pressure, it has the overdrive, you know, the overdrive and the power lights and all the automatic stuff I don't care about. So this one has volts, fuel, oil pressure, and then water temperature, which are really good gauges, especially for a stock car back then. Very cool. It does have supercharger written on there, and I believe it has a little LED that lights up when the supercharger's spooling. Obviously, we don't have that, but it's cool that we've got a manual cluster. Now, I do have another one as well. So I picked this one up from old mate up the road, and this is a Australian delivered. So if you notice on the supercharged one, this is a Japanese delivered one. It has a speed of 180, which is standard for Japanese cars. That's what my Sora has. Every pretty much Japanese import, only really goes to 180. This is an Aussie delivered one and goes up to 240. So yeah, it's kind of tempting. Maybe we use this one. I do like the Japaneseness of the 180 one, and to be honest, when am I ever really going to hit 180? Except on the track, which this one, it's not a dedicated track car. So yeah, I don't know. I've got both, but at least I've got some spares now. You know, if any of these components go wrong, I do have, or even just the screen being nice and clean, I do have spares. So it was so cheap. I just thought I'd grab it. So yeah, we've got now 2 manual gauge clusters. Oh, there we go. That's actually got the lump off the back for the supercharger light. So it must have a boost reference somewhere for that supercharger light. That's hilarious. You can see on the back of the non-supercharged one, it doesn't have that. Funny. Anyway, so yeah, I've got 2 options for gauge clusters, which is really cool. So we don't have to deal with any of that automatic junk, because automatic. Ugh. So for any of you that watched my little video I did at Christmas time, I showed you some stuff. I showed you a box of brakes and stuff that I got from a guy just up the road. He has an AW11 with a K24 on it. It's a race car, and it's very cool. His name's David, he's a lovely guy. He messaged me the other day, well, he messaged me about these things. So these, I got 2 of these are struts, and these actually have serviceable inserts from Toyota. So these original struts, he's running something different now, but he was gonna chuck them out. He said, if you want them, you can take the cartridges out, get them serviced. So I said, yeah, I'll grab them. You know, it's always good to have spares. But the other things he did have, which are very cool, is a genuine steering wheel. So this is the genuine AW11 steering wheel in leather, which is quite nice. Now, I am planning on putting a Raceworks steering wheel in this car. And I spoke to them, and they're gonna do something a little funky with it too, because we're gonna do some cool color coding in the car. So I may never use this, but honestly, he did it for such a good price. I've gone, why wouldn't I just grab this? It's a cool thing. If I ever wanted to make the car kind of, you know, stockish, or if I ever just go, I'm sick of the racy stuff and I want something a little more genuine, I could put that on, and it's in pretty good nick, so I thought, why not grab that? Other things he had, which really interested me, was this, the genuine toolkit. So for roadworthy, at least in Victoria, you do need a jack and a handle and all that stuff to be able to change your tire. It is part of the roadworthy, and I didn't have any of that stuff. So let's get the go. I haven't even opened this up yet. I literally picked this up this morning. So let's have a quick look and see what's in the kit. Oh yeah, cool. So that's a little wedge to stop the car rolling away. It's got the genuine tire iron. Got ourselves a Toyota jack, which I'm pretty sure it's the same one that was in my GT4 Sleeker. There we go. Little scissor jack. And then, yep, that is the Toyota screwdriver. You can see it's all branded. I'm pretty sure that pulls out. Yeah, that pulls out. And then it's got a flathead on the other end. So you've got a flathead and a Phillips in the one screwdriver. So that's pretty cool. The pliers. That Toyota branded 10 and 8 mil. Tire lever. And then the handle for the jack. And yeah, the rest of the jack parts. But that's pretty cool. I love that. That is literally the genuine toolkit that comes out of this car, and even in the Toyota branded bag. So I'm stoked on that. I'll get that bag a clean up and give everything a clean, and then that can go in the car. And I'm pretty sure if we go and have a look in the front here, there we go. That is actually, move all my junk. That is actually the position for that jack to fit. I think goes in there, yeah, goes through there. It locks in there somehow. Might be the other way around. Something like that. I don't know. It does fit in there anyway, but that's the spot where the jack fits, which is pretty cool. So how good's that? I'm pretty stoked on that. That's rad. So yeah, we've got ourselves a toolkit. We've got that, and he did give me a box, just of random parts he found. So we've got some spare tie rod ends, which never go down astray. He's got his front bonnet latch because he's running pins now, bonnet pins, but nice to have a spare one. Little ECU controller for the fan in the engine bay, which is great. And then some other little garnish bits. There's the little felt piece that goes on the dashboard. Spare injectors for my engine, because these are out of the big port 4AGE. which is great, and a spare throttle position sensor. So yeah, some really cool stuff in there. So thank you once again to David up the road, lovely guy, and that's gonna be great. These are all parts that are gonna help build this car up. But yeah, to get that near rust-free bonnet, and yeah, the supercharged deck lid, which is obviously gonna take some modifications, but I think looks freaking rad. I'm pretty stoked on that. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Check this out. This is the new Nugget Project long sleeve top. I've got the sleeves rolled up today because it's a bit hot, but these are long sleeve cotton tops, and I have had these. I've worked with Brianna, my t-shirt and merch maker. She's a lovely lady, and these are cotton track day tops. So these are designed for if you go to the track and you go racing, you have to have long sleeve cotton tops, and that's what these are for. These are for track days. So not only do they look cool, but they are also very functional. So if you are doing track days or races or anything like that, you don't want to catch on fire, cotton is the way to go. And these look fantastic. I will be doing them in black and in a gray, which will look really cool. And if for some reason you don't want the long sleeve and you want a t-shirt, I can also get them done in a normal t-shirt. This is, I'm not very tall, I'm about 5'10", 173-4 centimeters, whatever that is. And this is quite big on me. This is a large, so I could probably go a medium or a large, just to give you a bit of an idea of sizing. I'll be getting these made to order pretty much next week. So if you're interested in one of these, I'll be putting the pricing up on my Facebook page and on my Instagram page. Hit me up, track day tops, very cool. And every cent I make out of this will go into this or into getting me back racing in the Nug, because I plan on doing at least 2, hopefully 3 or 4 races this year. Yes, I want to get back on a racetrack so bad. Anyway, check back in. I am really trying to get stuff, I'm trying to get enough components together to do some videos. I'm working on rust in the background, but the rust, I can't show you video after video of rust repair. You guys are gonna get so bored. So I am just working on the rust in the background. However, I am gathering all the parts together to rebuild this engine, which will be very cool. Very excited about that. I'm also getting the parts together to rebuild our cooked wiring loom. So I just got, I'll show you this, a genuine connector. Once again, genuine Toyota connector for one of the ones that was burnt out. So I've got one of those. I've also got connectors, wiring from a motorsport page, the big connectors for the ones that were broken on the loom. We have so much stuff there. So I should be able to rebuild that loom. So you guys can kind of come along on that little journey to get all this wiring ready. So once the car is rust free and I paint it, I'm gonna bring it back in here and I'm gonna start laying out all the wiring, figuring out wiring for our new components. So we've got gauges and we're gonna be doing fans and things like that. So we're gonna be adding all that wiring while it's bare shell to make it nice and neat. I don't want any of this junky wire hanging across engine bays and things like that. It's just not cool, man. So we're gonna do it properly and hopefully this car should be absolutely ripper. I'm so excited to drive this car. I went and filmed roll racing and drag racing with Scotty from Street Machine. That's my normal job. We went to Calder Park, and the drag racing thing, yeah, whatever. But the roll racing was really cool. So, you know, 2 cars line up, just kind of roll along, hit the start line and just wham. I thought, man, even though this isn't a fast car, that'd be just so much fun just to open the taps on it and just go nuts down the drag strip. So I think once this is done, and I know it's not gonna blow up, let's go take it roll racing. I'm gonna take it to the track as well. I'm gonna go do circuit racing, but let's go do some other stuff with it. Let's go do a hill climb. Let's go and do some roll racing. That'd be fun. Probably get my ass whooped, but it would just be good times. So lots to come. No time to do it, but I will find the time for you. So thanks for watching. Remember, long sleeve race track, what do we call them? Track day tops. Sounds good. They look awesome. I'm stoked on them. Buy one, support me.